here is like stepping back in time.
This place doesn't change much, but it sure gets more cluttered.
I just loved this place as a kid.
We sure did have fun summers here.
Yeah, it was always like an amusement park. Uncle Dudley always made it so much fun.
Oh, he wasn't like most uncles, that's for sure.
Oh look, it's an old honeybee tree and the clubhouse is still up.
That old tree is still here? That thing was about hollow 20 years ago.
Remember the summer that we asked him to build that? And he insisted on relocating the bees and put them in the neighbor's vacant shed?
Yeah, he was original sometimes, but he really was a sweet old man. Hey, I'd love to sit here and just remember Uncle Dudley, but we have work to do.
Yeah, I feel a bit strange, being here at all.
Uncle Dudley wants us here. The letters were clear about that.
Well, kinda. They were kinda strange though, don't you think?
Strange is nothing new for Uncle Dudley.
Which brings up the question of why we got the exact same letters. A similar letter, yes, but the exact same letter? That postal system sometimes. I saw a show once where this lady didn't get this invitation to this prince's wedding or party, and she didn't find out until 3 years later that he only fell in love with her sister because he thought she was rejecting him when she didn't show up to the party. Do you suppose that's why we got the same letter?
Who knows with Uncle Dudley? Those last few years, he was a bit creative.
Like when he created that hole in the hot water heater and insisted it was
like a submarine.
Yeah.
Well, it made that blub, blub, blub noise and had that thing up on the top of it.
Yeah. It made even worse noise after he shot the top off.
Well, what about that time he followed those geese to see if they really were from Canada?
Gotta be a long wait, but I'm sure Florida's a nice place to spend the winter.
Especially when your choice of clothing revolves around floral boxers.
In Florida, who knows the difference? It could have been worse. Could have been a Speedo.
I really think he might have started that one fashion trend. A year later, everyone was doing it. Remember? The hat with the ear flaps?
Who would have thought that hat and the boxers would complement each other and start a whole new look in the music industry? With the kind of music they're playing, I'm sure those ear flaps come in real handy. Who would have thought that a man who gave so much would be killed by a little frog?
If only he had remembered to detach and cook the legs before eating.
You'd think they'd go down better than that.
Maybe if it had been a smaller frog. And that might have become a fad too then. It did work for goldfish in the 50s. We're getting off track again.
The letters?
Well, as Uncle Dudley's favorite nieces, it's our job to take care of the estate.
And the fact that he mentioned his hidden fortune has nothing to do with the speed of you coming over here?
Don't start up on that again. I told you it was a log in the road, not a cat.
Logs don't go. That's beside the point. The man's only been dead for 3 days. Which brings up the question of how we got the letters so fast. I got a letter once that was lost in the postal system for 3 months. That postal system
Yeah. You've already talked about the postal system. I told you, when I called here to see if there was anything I could do, I talked with Ole. And he told me he was supposed to mail a box of letters as soon as Uncle Dudley passed on.
Who's Ole?
You know Ole. He was kind of a caretaker and a friend. He moved in here right after Uncle Dudley's brother Bernard passed away.
Is he the guy that was always in the back shed and made that weird nose thing and talked to himself?
Yeah, that's the guy.
No wonder they got along so well.
Christine, I can't believe you just said that about a guy who just died.
I'm just saying Dudley talked to himself too. He always said, you can be sure the other person is interested in what you have to say when the other person is you. Which makes a lot of sense, don't you think?
If Oli had to send out a box of letters, who else do you think got one?
I don't know, maybe lawyers and stuff. We're basically the only family he had. At least those that claimed him.
Oh my God.
What?
Veronica?
Oh, crap.
What do we do if Veronica shows up?
Wait, why would she show up? She left him years ago, right?
Are you kidding me? Veronica always said that for as eccentric as he was, Uncle Dudley would have tons of Aunt's money. But she didn't get a dime when she split. And you know how she loves money.
Oh, crap. I bet she'll show up.
Do you think Dudley would have sent her a letter like ours?
He could have. He really loved her, you know.
He was pretty hurt when she left him, though.
But she must have loved him, too. She didn't marry him during the big floral boxer years.
No. Knowing Veronica, she just loved the fact that boxers don't have pockets, which meant she got to carry the wallet around everywhere they went. And stop and think for a minute. Remember him in those boxers? Those baggy boxers?
Ugh. You're right. She was in it for the money.
Yeah. Even if she didn't get a letter, Veronica always thought Uncle Dudley had money to burn. I bet she'll show up to try to collect what she didn't get while they were married. So we're going to have to find the treasure before she finds out about any. Did you bring your letter?
No.
Why wouldn't you bring your letter?
Well, we got the exact same letter, so I just left mine at home. I figured I'd just share with you.
Why do you make things so difficult all the time? Just use my letter then. This letter to me, it was like a riddle or a poem.
I thought it sounded like mumbo jumbo.
This isn't mumbo jumbo. These are the clues that are going to help us find the treasure. I think we should dissect it one line at a time.
Fine by me. Go ahead.
As you know, I'm dead. I want you, as my favorite niece, to take care of my estate. My possessions are too valuable to let just anyone take care of, so I hope you will value my art and stylized pieces of work. Also, I've hidden a fair amount of money in the house. I hid it years ago, but can't remember where. I wrote myself a letter at the time, so I'd always remember where my hiding place was. The problem is, I've never been able to understand it. Good luck. I think I'll miss you, but who knows? I'm dead. Just feed the cat.
What cat?
Oh, you remember Oscar over here.
Oh, yeah. I remember Oscar from our visits as kids. You know, Uncle Dudley always fed him in the morning, and by noon the food was gone. I was always puzzled as to where that went.
Didn't you ever notice how bright Oli's eyes are?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Really? You think Oli ate that?
Yeah. Just think of it like trail mix. Now let's get back to the letter. Now listen carefully as I read these clues and try to think like Uncle Dudley. They shouldn't be called belly dancers when their whole body moves. I hate those things in toilets that make the water blue. Not turning the knob before you walk will make you hit the door. If you want to hit someone, it's fun to use an oar. If you take a match to a cat, it will really burn. Would you be my honey if I had money? If money were smoke, would it float up?
None of that really makes any sense to me. Not even if I try to think like Dudley.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. Maybe we could just walk around the house and see if something rings a bell with the clues.
You don't think Oli's wandering around, do you?
He's harmless.
Yeah, but it is kind of creepy alone, don't you think?
No, but, you know, maybe we'd get more done if we were together.
Two heads are better than one. Let's go.
Okay. Christine, why do you make things so difficult?
looking for you. You were supposed to wait for me, not just go wandering off. At your age, Dudley, you should be able to follow my directions. When are you going to learn that I know what's best for you? Why'd you just go wandering off like that?
I heard Christine and Agatha in here and I wanted to say hi.
Well, I didn't hear them. Now come along.
The cat's held up well. I think he missed me. Pets take separation very seriously.
She never changes. He never changes. Now come on, Dudley, we need to go.
Are you kidding? We have to stay and be a good host.
I don't see the sense in it. I assure you they cannot see nor hear you.
Oh, you just know everything, don't you?
Well, I have been at this a tad bit longer than you.
Sit down. Does it feel like this couch has gotten lumpy?
I couldn't tell you.
My pet rock! Say hi to Herman!
That's lovely. Now let's go.
Say hi to Herman!
Hello, Herman. Now can we go?
If they can't see me, what's the rush?
I know you, Dudley, and frankly, I just don't trust you.
Here they come. Surprise!
Do you think this has anything to do with the belly dancer clue?
It's me, your Uncle Dudley!
I can't imagine how, but with Uncle Dudley, who knows?
You're right, they can't see me.
Do you think anybody would miss it if I kept it?
No, I love that outfit.
It is kind of fun.
Well, it's mine.
It is fun, don't you think? I could save it for Halloween. Women are allowed to dress slutty on Halloween.
I'm really stuck on this letter.
They got the letter.
You know, I saw a movie once where these people were looking for this ancient treasure in this ancient pyramid, but I bet that stuff was worth a lot more than this. Although, equally as dusty.
Hey,
In order to find the treasure, they had to take this stone sculpture thing with these glass eyes up to this window type thing, and on a certain day, at a certain time, the sun would shine on the eyes and point to a spot on the wall, and that's where they had to push to get the secret door to open.
Do you have a point?
Yeah, 2 of them. Anyway, once they found the secret door, they were able to open it, and they found all sorts of treasure. Of course, they died by drying up into mummies.
I'm still waiting for your point.
Well, maybe if you stand in the window, it'll reflect to a secret door.
excellent plan.
That plan is ridiculous. Even Uncle Dudley wouldn't think of something like that.
I could have.
Christine, we have to get serious about this treasure and figure out where it is before someone else horns in on it.
Oh, hello, girls.
Speaking of horning,
I thought that was your car in the driveway. Oh, how have you been?
Hi, Veronica.
It has been too long.
What are you doing here?
Oh, well, when I heard of poor Dudley's passing, I just had to come and say my final farewell to all those wonderful times that we shared.
Who does she think she's kidding?
I would have thought you said your final farewell when you divorced him.
You tell her.
You know, that time was just so difficult for the both of us. I wanted to have a fond farewell.
it'll be a fun farewell.
So, what brings you girls here so early on? I mean, the funeral's not for like a few days now.
Well, we got these letters.
We got
telling us-
these letters telling us we needed to clean up the place, right? You know that stuff goes clean, clean, clean.
You two are just so sweet to help out.
You're more than welcome to help us clean as long as you're here.
Yeah, clean. Certainly, sure. Just as soon as I get settled in. It was such a long drive, and I am just starved. Do you suppose there's any food left in the kitchen? Yeah, I'm gonna just go take a little look-see.
Here's some trail mix if you like.
That's Oscar's mix.
Yeah, no thanks, dear. I think I'll probably just check the kitchen. Say, is that helper of Dudley's? Oh, now what was his name?
Oli?
Yes, Ole.
I miss Oldie.
Do you suppose he's around? Maybe he could help me in the kitchen. Well, never mind, then I'll just try to help myself. Yeah, I would get you girls something too, but, well, you know, I'm just not good in the kitchen.
She's no going anywhere if you ask me.
You know, Christine, she might know something we don't. We really should follow her.
Why is Veronica here?
I sent her a letter before I died.
Whatever for?
Maybe I just missed her.
Dudley, I'm dead, not dumb. What are you up to, Dudley Winston Blake?
I figured, I think being dead is kind of like it's exactly like I thought it would be. It'd be fun to see her one last time.
I don't see how anything to do with that woman could possibly be fun. I remember how she treated you when you were married to her.
That doesn't mean I can't make it fun now.
Did you have some sort of a plan up your sleeve?
I've had a plan since the day she left.
Just what did you have in mind?
Well, since you can't see me. Isn't that little Shelly?
Well, I haven't seen her for years, but that looks like her. She was always such a sweet little girl. Did you send her a letter too?
No, who's this guy she's with?
I haven't a clue.
He looks like a boxer man. I can spot him a mile away.
I haven't a clue about that either.
Why aren't you helping me?
What?
Why aren't you helping me look?
You know, these nuts are really good. You should try some.
They were a lot better before I licked the chocolate off.
Well, that's not a pleasant thought.
What? You get double the pleasure. If you let the chocolate melt in your cheek, you can have the peanuts for another day.
Dudley, please!
Seriously, Todd, we don't have much time. You could get up, you know, and help.
I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be looking for.
Well, my mom has a letter that was sent to her by her uncle.
Wait, I thought your uncle was dead.
He is.
Then how do you send a letter?
He had his caretaker send it for him.
How do you know to do that?
He told him to before he died, I guess.
But he's dead.
Who?
Your uncle.
He told him to before he died. I just told you.
Okay. So what about this letter now?
Okay, this letter that was sent to my mom by my dead uncle's caretaker says that there are things of value that are hidden in this house. That's what we're here to find.
But the letter was for your mom.
Yeah, but if we find something of value first, we could probably have enough money to buy whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I could have whatever I wanted, I would pick one of those huge gumball machines like they have at the mall.
I love those!
Yeah, and maybe even an apartment to put it in too, Todd. And it's getting kind of short on room, you know.
And a huge inflatable dinosaur.
I want one of those too!